the general solution of the transmission line. So how we define these notations? R is the for a two-wire transmission line, open wire line. So R is defined as the series resistance including both the wires. Series resistance per unit length of the transmission line, open wire line, including both wires. And L is the series inductance per unit length of the transmission line in Henry. T is the capacitance between the two conductors per unit length of line in farads. And how we define G is the shunt leakage conductance between two conductors per unit length of the transmission line in mohs per meter. So omega L is the series reactance. Series reactance per unit length of line, ohm per meter. And Z is equal to R plus J omega L. So that is series impedance per unit length of the line. And omega C is shunt susceptance. Shunt susceptance per unit length of the transmission line. Y is defined as the shunt admittance, which is equal to G plus J omega C per unit length of the line. And if we are measuring from the receiving end, we are measuring the distance S along the transmission line. So S is the distance along the transmission line from the receiving end. So if S is equal to 0, that means the current will be receiving current IR, the voltage will be ER, voltage at the receiving end. And I is the current in the transmission line at any point, and E is the voltage between the 2 points, so between conductors at any point. So voltage between two conductors at any point. So and L is the length of the transmission line. So we are doing the general study. So how this uniform transmission line is different from the lumped circuit model? Can you tell how it will be different? The transmission line is made of infinite number of cascaded T sections. So we are assuming that the distributed transmission line is made up of an infinite number of T sections, cascaded T sections. So what will be the current and voltage? Will it be constant like we did in a lumped circuit model, or it will be variable? The voltage and current along the transmission line. So it will be constant or variable for the distributed uniform transmission line. Yes. So the E and I, it will be voltage and current will be constant or it will be a variable. So what is your suggestion? Because R, L, G and C, these are defined as series resistance, series inductance, G is the shunt leakage and C is the shunt capacitance. So per unit length of the line. So when we travel along the transmission line, so voltage and current will be constant or it will change?
Constant.
Why it will be constant? if we consider an infinitesimally a small section of the transmission line, like here it is considered the infinitesimal length is ds. So for this infinitesimally a small section of the transmission line, so what is the current and voltage? The voltage between two conductors is E and the current along the line is I. Okay. So here the current will be I and here it will be I plus Di. So here basically the voltage and current will change. The current flowing in the transmission line around the loop, if you consider one loop cascaded T section, so that will not be constant. Because the parameters are distributed along the transmission line. So for 1 millimeter length of line, the resistance is, because it is defined as per unit length, so R into 1 millimeter. Okay. And for 1 centimeter, R into 1 centimeter. So basically the resistance, capacitance and inductance and conductance, they are changing along the transmission line. Then voltage and current will also vary. It will not be constant. The shunt current which you are seeing as Di or the loop current, so this will be variable. And we are considering that the transmission line is made of infinite number of cascaded T sections. Okay, so now this elemental section of length having the length ds. So in this section I current is flowing. So the current is I and voltage between the two conductors is E voltage. Okay. So now what will be the series line impedance? That will be Z into ds, because Z was defined as the series impedance per unit length of line. Here the length is ds, so it will be Z into ds. Z into ds, because the length is t. So what will be the voltage drop? Voltage drop for this length ds. So voltage drop dE will be equal to I into the impedance, which is Z into ds. So I into impedance IR, so Z ds. So I into Z ds. So D will be equal to I into Z ds. The voltage drop, so in the transmission line for the length ds will be dE is equal to I into Z ds. So what will be dE by ds? I into Z. Okay, similarly the current admittance per unit length of the transmission line is Y. So for the ds length, what will be shunt admittance? Y into ds. So that will be Y into ds. Y into ds. So what will be the current, a small current for the elemental section ds? The current Di that flows across the line. So that current Di will be equal to voltage into shunt admittance, which is Y into ds. So current will be equal to voltage into admittance. So admittance is YDS, EYDS. So what will be DIYDS here? DIYDS will be equal to E into Y. E into Y. Okay. So now can use this. So dE y ds is equal to I into z, and di y ds is equal to E into. We had to calculate voltage and current. So how to calculate? Using these two coupled differential equations. Voltage and current, they are coupled. So how to calculate E and I, voltage and current? Yes, how to calculate? What is your suggestion? Yes, Vignesh, how to calculate?
Sir, second equation will differentiate
Second equation.
d by ds
You
in the
want
RHS side, and we'll substitute that IZ value and
to d square Ey ds square. This is equal to y into dey ds into y. Yep. And dey ds is equal to Iz. So I into yz. Dey ds is equal to, but
I
here
into
it
Iz.
will be d square I, na? This I have not done correct. It will be d square I.
Sir, second equation will differentiate with respect to S, sir.
Yes, exactly. So it will be d square.
d square I by ds square.
It will be d square I upon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so d square I upon ds square is equal to I into yz. Okay, so now this coupling you have removed because I is in terms of current is in terms of current. Second order differential equation. So d square upon ds square by ds square I minus yz I is equal to g. So the operator in terms of the operator m, so it will be basically m square minus yz into I is equal to 0, where m is the operator, m is equal to dy ds, operator m. So m basically, if you solve this, m square minus yz is equal to 0. So m square minus yz is 0. So we are getting both plus and minus under the radical y. Okay. So m is equal to plus minus root y. Similarly, this is for current I. Okay. Similarly, for voltage, current will be written as some arbitrary constant into e to the power. So root yz into s plus d into some constant e to the power minus root yz into s. Okay. What about the voltage? Same thing you can do. Now you have to differentiate this first equation. Again different. So d square e upon ds square is equal to z diy. Okay. And diy ds is e into y. So basically e into yz. dy. Okay. So again the same form, d square y ds square e minus eyz is equal to 0. So e will be equal to, you can write voltage as some constant a into e to the power root yz plus b into e to the power minus root. So these are the general solution, but we have to calculate the arbitrary constant a, b, c, and d. How to calculate? What is your suggestion?
Substitute peak value, sir.
And how to calculate boundary condition?
Yes, sir.
Boundary condition. Okay, good. What are the boundary conditions? We have to calculate A, B, C, and D. We need 4 equations to calculate these 4 arbitrary constants. You are saying using boundary condition we can do. What are those boundary conditions? Yes.
Initial and
The boundary condition is because we are measuring distance S from the receiving end, that you know. So S is defined as the distance along the transmission line from the receiving end. Okay. So at S is equal to 0. At S is equal to 0, what will be voltage and current? So at S is equal to 0, voltage will be equal to voltage at the receiving end here, current will be equal to current at the receiving end IR. Now what will be the, put S is equal to 0, what will be voltage and current? Yes, E will be equal to A plus B. I will be equal to C plus D. Am I correct or not? At S is equal to, when you put S is equal to 0, but here E will be become ER. So ER is equal to A plus B. IR is equal to C. Is it correct or not? All are silent. Is it correct or not? ER is equal to A plus B. IR is equal to C plus C. Receiving end current, receiving end voltage. So, but this boundary condition is giving only 2 equations. You need 4 equations to solve A, B, C, and D, these 4 arbitrary constants. How to solve? How to get another 2 equations? What is your suggestion now?
At time infinity,
What will happen? What will happen?
one of them will be 0, no sir.
Why?
Only will
Why it will be 0? Sinusoidal function. What is the problem? Why it will be 0? So how to obtain the other 2 equations, other 2 relations? Any other suggestion? Like we did here, at S is equal to 0.
Sir, can you please go back to the previous page?
Yes, good. Basically, the same boundary condition S is equal to 0 will give you 2 more equations. Don't worry. Okay. At S is
Yes.
equal to 0, E is equal to ER, and I is equal to IR. This will give you 2 more equations. You will ask how. So go to the previous equation. So these 2 equations you remember. 2 more equations we need. See, same boundary condition we will use. Don't worry. Okay, so what I have done is correct or not? Yes. E, A, B I had taken, I also CD, everything is okay. So S is equal to 0, I, IR is equal to, ER this is done, ER is equal to A plus B, IR is equal to C plus D done. So next 2 other conditions, 2 other relation you want. How to get that? How to get that?
We substitute that IR and ER there, sir.
Where?
Previous equations.
Good. So basically you differentiate this one. these two previous equation you differentiate.
Sir.
So dE by ds, what will be dE by ds? What will be dE by ds?
Y into Z, Y, Z. I guess this we have done, sir, already.
Huh? Have you done it? See here, dE by ds.
Yes, sir. A root.
Okay, so you differentiate this one, dE by ds, calculate dI by ds also, put s is equal to 0 and I is equal to IR is equal to ER. Again, I will do in here. Here I will. Two equations we have here. So E is equal to A into e to the power root zy plus BE minus root zy, and I is equal to E ER is equal to A plus B, and IR is equal to B plus. So now what will be dE by ds? What will be dE by ds? It will be equal to A into root zy into e to the power root zy x minus B into root zy e to the power minus root zy. Okay, na? What I have written is correct or not? And what is dE by ds? What is dE by ds?
A root Z, Y.
I into dE by ds is equal to I into
Z, Y.
zy.
Yes, sir.
So I into zy is equal to A root and all this. Now put S is equal to 0. So put S is equal
I said.
so S will be equal to 0. So basically IR into ZY will be equal to A into root ZY minus B into root Z. This is okay? Correct or not?
Sir, E power.
At S is equal to 0.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and similarly you do DI by DS. Differentiate this one. What will be
Sir,
D?
root
DI
Z,
by
Y.
DS.
Take common and cancel.
Yeah. D by DS. DI by DS will be equal to. Basically, this is equal to E into YZ that you know. And after differentiating this, this will be equal to C into root ZY into e to the power root ZY plus minus B into root ZY e to the power minus and S is equal to 0. E is equal to ER. So basically, what will happen? ER into YZ is equal to C into C minus D root ZY. C minus D into root ZY. And root ZY, you bring it here. So it will be
Yes.
root. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, IR equation also you write in simple terms down.
Yes. So IR will be equal to basically 1 upon root ZY A minus P. So what we have done, let us see these four equations. Is this okay or not?
Sir, dE by dS will be IZ.
Oh, and we have written IZY. No problem. See, good. So dE by ds is not IZY. It is I into Z. So in exam you be careful, okay? This is dE by ds is equal to IZ. IZ. Similarly, di by ds is equal to E into Y. E into Y. So now you have to change it. These two. So the point is good. d by ds is equal to IZ. Di by ds is equal to EY. So now
Sir, ER equation also will change also top.
which one here? Yes, it will modify definitely. It will be modified now.
C
This
minus
equation, this equation you have to modify, and also this one. So
that
basically,
is correct only, sir. Down one is correct only.
okay, this is correct. No, we have written here y now. So this
Yes.
y you have to remove, then it will be correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So these four equations we have to solve for obtaining A, B, C, and D. For obtaining A, B, C, and D, we have four linear equations for A, B, C, and D. Easily you can solve. And to calculate A, B, C, and D, after solving four equations, then you can write E, voltage and current for the transmission line in terms of Z, Y, ER, IR, and distance S from the receiving end. So that will be equal to C here. Then you will solve ABCD. You will get these four equations, which you are seeing here. A, B, C, and D. After solving, you will get like this. And one more thing. We had written at S is equal to 0, we had taken E is equal to ER, voltage at the receiving end. Current at S is equal to 0 is equal to IR at S is equal to 0. How ER and IR they are related? So ER is equal to IR into ZR. ER is equal to IR into ZR. So ER upon IR is equal to ZR. ZR is the termination resistance or the impedance at the receiving end. Okay? Impedance at the receiving end. So ER is equal to IR into ZR. And one more thing. Z0. What is Z0? Characteristic impedance, which is equal to root. I have to clean it. So Z0 is equal to characteristic impedance is equal to root Z into Y. So wherever you find root ZY, you put Z0, and ER is equal to IR into ZR. These two also you have to utilize. Then you can write A, B, C, and D. So A, B, C, and D will be Z0, ZR. What I have written, you guys, Z0 is not equal to root ZY. This is root Z upon Y. Root Z upon Y. That is Z0. Gamma is equal to root ZY. Okay. Gamma is root zy. Z naught is root zy. Is it correct or not?
Sir, once the derivation part you explain, Z naught and gamma.
This is not the derivation point. Already last class we had done Z naught and gamma. What we had calculated for gamma, root zy. And what was Z naught?
Yes, sir. Root Z by Y.
So you forgot characteristic
No.
impedance of the transmission line, root Z upon Y. And gamma, propagation constant of the light per unit length, of course, root zy.
A little part I missed,
So-
sir. Due to issues. It's okay,
Good.
sir.
No problem. So Z naught, you put root Z upon Y, ER is equal to IR into ZR. Then you can write A, B, C, and D in terms of ZR and Z naught. So A will be equal to ERY2 into 1 plus Z naught by ZR. Because here IR will be ER upon ZR. So ERY2 common. So 1 plus Z naught by ZR. So in exam you have to derive all these. Here it is directly written. 4 equations are given, solution is written. But in exam you cannot write like this. Just copy paste. No. You have to derive A, B, C, and D. Okay. And if you do not do that, there will be marks cut. Then you should not cry that sir, you had not solved. You solve this for linear equation. Okay, so A, B, C, D be calculated. So what will be voltage and current? Voltage and current. So the voltage and current that will be equal to E is equal to plus put value of A and B. So what is A and B? A is equal to what you calculated, you tell if you have done. What is
EN.
A?
EN by 2.
ER by 2 into 1 minus ER by 2 into 1 minus 1
Only
plus
it's 1 plus.
1 plus Z naught by ZR.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
1 plus Z naught by ZR into e to the power root Z. We are calculating voltage. Okay. Voltage at any point along the transmission line. And what will be B? The constant B in terms of ER, IR, ZR. What is B? So the value of B, ER, IR and root Z upon Y. So it is basically ER by 2 into 1 minus Z naught by ZR. So ER by 2 into 1 minus Z naught by
ZR.
ZR. Good. Into e to the power minus root ZY. So this is the voltage in terms of receiving end voltage and receiving end impedance and characteristic impedance. And one more thing, put root ZY is equal to gamma because gamma is the propagation constant is equal to root ZY. So gamma is root ZY, Z naught is root Z upon Y, ZR is equal to ER upon. Okay, similarly, so can you simplify it, this one? ERY2 we can take as common. Then what will happen?
ER by 2 common, sir. Side E into root
You
power
can
Z by
simplify it.
plus
Little bit simplification you can do here.
mostly one step, sir.
Yes. So in a hyperbolic, in terms of hyperbolic function, you can write, because ER by 2 into e to the power root ZYS plus e to the power minus root ZYS.
Yes,
So
sir.
that will be equal to e gamma s, e to the power gamma s plus e to the power minus gamma s. That will be equal to
cos h gamma.
good.
By 2.
So cos h gamma s. So similarly, ER by 2 into Z naught ZR. This we can take common. ER by 2 into Z naught by ZR. So ER by ZR will be equal to IR basically. So IR Z naught upon 2. IR Z naught upon 2 into sin h gamma, because here e to the power gamma s minus e to the power minus gamma s.
Yes, sir. Sin h gamma.
Similarly, current you can write. What will be current? I was equal to P into E to the power root Z pi S plus D into minus root Z. C and D you have calculated. Put C and D here. So what you are getting? C here. C is equal to IR by 2 into 1 plus ZR by Z naught. D is equal to IR by 2 into 1 minus ZR by Z naught. So you are seeing after putting that we have done just now, E and I, this we have done. If you rearrange the terms in these two equations, so ZR plus Z naught by ZR. So ER into ZR plus Z naught by 2 ZR, because okay. Then you will get like this. These two equations. Basically these are same. Either you write this or this after rearranging. These are all same. But here ZR minus Z naught upon ZR plus Z naught, we will see this is the reflection coefficient. We will define reflection coefficient. So this is the reflection coefficient at the load receiving end. So you can write as this is equal to what you say for this term, tau or what? This one. This is reflection coefficient at the load, at the receiving end. So gamma R is equal to ZR minus Z naught divided by ZR plus. Or you can say tau, whatever you want to say, okay? This is reflection coefficient. So basically the point is, if you write voltage and current like this, then we can say E to the power gamma S plus reflection coefficient tau into e to the power minus gamma S, like that. Okay, and in terms of hyperbolic that we were just doing, so in terms of hyperbolic, what will be the voltage and current hyperbolic function? So see here, in terms of cos hyperbolic and sin hyperbolic, equal to ER cos hyperbolic gamma S plus IR Z naught sin hyperbolic gamma S. And current is IR cos hyperbolic gamma S plus ER by Z naught sin hyperbolic gamma. So basically, whether you use this for or in terms of reflection coefficient, this term, or one more is there. This also is. In this way also you can write. E is equal to ER into e to the power. Okay. So that will give you basically hyperbolic. Three form is there in terms of hyperbolic. All are same for voltage and current expression. In terms of hyperbolic, in terms of reflection coefficient, in terms of this exponential. Okay. Okay, so what is the time? how much time we have? Okay, 20 minutes more. We can continue. So next we have to see the physical significance of these equations that we have done. So what is the physical significance of these equations? So at S is equal to 0, what will happen? What will be voltage and current at S is equal to 0? Yes, what will be voltage and current? Why you are thinking aloud? Already we assume that okay, at S is equal to 0, voltage is equal to ER, and
Yeah,
current
sir.
in the transmission line is IR. So now we have these equations. So if we put S is equal to 0 here, cos hyperbolic 0, sin hyperbolic 0. What is the value? What is sin hyperbolic 0? It is 0.
0.
Cos hyperbolic 0 is 1. So E is equal to ER and I is equal to IR. So this is what we had assumed. So this equation is in line with our assumption. Now, at the incident end or at the sending end, where the energy is incident, what will be the voltage and current at the sending end, not at the receiving line, at the sending end? If the length of the transmission line is L, so at the sending end, what will be the value of S? At the receiving end, S was equal to 0. At the sending end, S is equal to L. If the length of the line is, transmission line is L. So it is at the sending end, and here this is at the receiving. So S will be equal to 0 at the sending end. The question is, what is the voltage and current at the sending end? So what is ES and IS? What will be ES and IS? Simply you put S is equal to L. You calculated voltage and current general expression. So put, for calculating ES and IS, just you have to put S is equal to L at the sending end. So ES is equal to ER cos hyperbolic root ZY or gamma you can say into L plus IR Z naught sin hyperbolic gamma L. IS current at the sending end will be equal to IR cos hyperbolic gamma L plus ERY Z naught sin hyperbolic gamma L. The voltage and current at the sending end. So this is done here. At the sending end, the current will be equal to. So the current will be equal to. So S is equal to L. You have to. Now suppose so you can, that way you can calculate sending end voltage and sending end current, no problem. Now if the line is terminated because we had assumed ZR was the termination impedance or load impedance. If it is terminated in Z naught, that means if ZR is equal to Z naught, then what will happen? If ZR is equal to Z naught, then what will happen? Then ER will be equal to IR ZR and ZR is equal to Z naught. So here it will be basically IR. You can take IR common. So what will be I? The current will be equal to IR into cos hyperbolic gamma S plus sin hyperbolic gamma S if the ZR is equal to Z naught. So basically I will be equal to IR into e to the power gamma L. And for the sending end current, for the sending end, we are, so what will be IS? The sending end current, S will be equal to L. So S will be equal to L. So IS upon IR, sending end current divided by IR, receiving end current, will be equal to e to the power gamma L, provided ZR is equal to Z. If ZR is equal to Z naught, IS upon IR is equal to e to the power gamma L. This is the definition of the propagation constant, you know. Exponential of propagation constant is equal to input current divided by output current. IS is the input because sending end current, IR is the receiving end, so output. So the thing is, this is in line with our assumption. Basically, you can say it is a restatement. Okay. And propagation constant gamma is defined as per unit length of the line. So here it is written E into gamma L. Because gamma is defined as per unit length of the line. So for L length, it is gamma into L. Okay. Now, you also know that gamma is equal to root ZY. Gamma is equal to root ZY. For the lumped and also uniform transmission line we had done, gamma is equal to root ZY. Z is equal to R plus J omega L. Z is equal to R plus J omega L. R plus J omega L. And Y is equal to G plus J omega C. So that means gamma will be a complex number, alpha plus J beta. Gamma is a complex quantity. So gamma becomes root of R plus J omega L into G plus J omega C. That means it is a complex number. So propagation constant, it is a complex number, this quantity gamma. It can be written as alpha plus J beta, and alpha and beta is the attenuation constant and phase constant. Alpha and beta is the attenuation constant and phase constant, and you can determine alpha and beta in terms of R, L, G, C, omega. That is very easy. Gamma is alpha plus J beta is equal to root ZY. ZY is here. Okay, so now do one thing. What will be ES upon IS? What will be ES upon IS? Three set of equations you have. Either use hyperbolic or this also you can use. Okay, we will do both. What will be ES upon IS? Use hyperbolic first. What will be ES upon IS? Sending end voltage divided by sending end current. Basically, that will be the sending end impedance, or you can say input impedance. So what will be the input impedance at the sending end? ES upon IS. So you divide this ES upon IS. At the sending end, put S is equal to L, okay? Don't do mistake. So ES upon IS, the input impedance at the sending end. So put S is equal to L, because S is from the receiving end. Yes, we are measuring from the receiving end. So at the sending end, S will be equal to L. So basically, it will be equal to, it is here, ES upon IS, so Z naught into ZR cos hyperbolic gamma into L plus Z naught sin hyperbolic gamma into L and divide by. Okay. So ZS. This is the input impedance of the transmission line of length L. Input impedance of the transmission line of length L. Z naught into ZR cos hyperbolic gamma L plus Z naught sin hyperbolic gamma L divided by Z naught cos hyperbolic gamma L plus ZR sin hyperbolic gamma L. So if you remember the lumped circuit model, so the same form was there for lumped circuit model also. But there it was gamma. Here it is gamma into L, because gamma is per unit length of the line. Okay, so this is input impedance of the transmission line. Okay, and use this equation also. Because hyperbolic we have done this form, use this form, this one, ZR minus Z naught divided by ZR plus Z naught. So then what you will get for ES upon IS? Then you will get this. Then you will get this. This here. If you use that form for input impedance of the transmission line, so ZR minus Z naught divided by ZR plus Z naught. This is also correct. Either you write this way in a hyperbolic function or this, both are correct. Now, if ZR will be equal to Z naught, what will be input impedance? If ZR is equal to Z naught, what will be input impedance? You put here, put ZR is equal to Z naught.
ZS equal to Z naught.
Very, very nice. So basically ZR is equal to Z naught. Input impedance is also equal to characteristic impedance, and that must be there for symmetrical network. If you remember the cascaded T section, because if load impedance is equal to Z naught, the input impedance will be also equal to Z naught. So the transmission line terminated in Z naught is having the input impedance same as Z naught. So basically ZS. So this same. Okay. And for that case, Z naught, you know, Z naught already we had done for this section, root Z upon Y. That's it. So basically the point is lumped constant model and distributed constant circuit. So the unity is established for Z naught and in terms of Z naught and gamma. Gamma for distributed constant circuit is equal to root into Zy, and Z naught is equal to root Z upon Y. Now, if the length is infinite, what will be the input impedance? So limit L tends to infinity. You have to solve this mathematical function. Limit L tends to infinity. Who will solve? What will be answer? Sai Varun, limit L tends to infinity. This function, what will be the answer? For the transmission line of infinite length, that is hypothetical, but suppose L is infinity, then what will be the input impedance of the transmission line?
Z naught.
Yes, good. So L tends to infinity, this mathematics you can do, and you will get Zs is equal to Z naught. Or in this also you can do the same. Limit L tends to infinity. So it is very simple. See here, L tends to infinity, it will be 0 and 0. So it will be 1 divided by, so Zs is equal to Z naught. So if you use this equation, then it is straightforward. So that means if the transmission line length is very large, L tends to infinity, then what we are seeing is that input impedance is equal to Z naught. So that means an infinite transmission line is considered as equivalent of a transmission line which is terminated in Z naught. Is this a statement correct or not? Because if it is terminated in Z naught, again the input impedance is Z naught only. If the length is infinity, again the input impedance is Z naught only. So they are equivalent. Infinite length line is equivalent to the finite length line, a line of finite length terminated in characteristic impedance. See here, it is written here. A transmission line of finite length terminated in Z naught adheres to the sending end generator as an infinite transmission line. So these are all qualitative discussion for your read. To read it, these are important mathematical thing we have done. Okay, so now one more thing we will start. Yes. Or you want on Monday, or today we can do this. Only 5 minutes left. Okay, we will do. So wavelength. So how we define wavelength? The distance that the wave travels along the transmission line when the phase will change through 2 pi radians, that is defined as wavelength. So basically lambda will be 2 pi upon beta. As per this definition, lambda will be 2 pi upon beta. Beta into lambda, beta into s is equal to 2 pi. So beta s is equal to lambda, for distance s is equal to lambda. So beta lambda is equal to 2 pi. So lambda is equal to 2 pi upon beta. Beta is the phase constant, you know. Okay. And what about the velocity? Lambda is also v upon f. Velocity upon frequency, you know. Because change of 2 pi in phase angle, that means 1 cycle in time. And that is for 1 wavelength. 1 cycle means 1 wavelength you have traveled. So x will be equal to lambda is equal to v into t. T is equal to 1 upon f. So lambda is equal to v upon f is equal to 2 pi upon beta. Okay, and what about velocity? In terms of the transmission line constant, what will be the velocity of the wave? V is equal to, because electric field and this electric field, voltage and current, they are having the waveform. So basically, what will be the velocity? Velocity will be equal to lambda into v is equal to lambda into f. So lambda is 2 pi upon beta. So 2 pi f upon beta. So 2 pi f is equal to omega, angular frequency. So omega upon beta, v is equal to omega upon beta. All these things already you know from physics. So this is the velocity of propagation of the voltage and current wave along the. Okay, now I was just telling that you can calculate alpha and beta in terms of R, L, G, C and omega. So same thing is done here. So beta will be in radians per meter, 2 pi upon lambda. So Z is equal to R plus J omega L, Y is equal to G plus J omega C. You know all these things. Alpha is equal to alpha plus gamma, gamma propagation constant is equal to alpha plus J beta is equal to root ZY. So if you solve this, put Z and Y here. So basically alpha and beta you can calculate. Alpha and beta, after solving that equation, this equation. So alpha and beta in terms of R, L, G and C, the primary constant of the transmission line. So the primary constant R, L, G and C of the transmission line. So alpha and beta, after solving you will get these two equations. In the exam you have to solve. All these things you have to do there, a step wise. It is easy, but you have to do. So alpha is equal to, in terms of primary constants of the transmission line, R, L, G and C. Similarly, the attenuation constant alpha and phase constant beta. So now for the lossless line. For the lossless line, if the line is lossless, for a perfect line there is no loss. So series resistance per unit length of the line is 0. And leakage, self-leakage conductance or leakage is also equal to 0 for the perfect line. Now put R is equal to 0 and G is equal to 0 for the lossless line. So then what will be alpha and beta? Alpha should be 0. Is it 0 or not? You verify. R is equal to 0 and G is equal to 0. This should be 0. Is it 0 or not?
Yes, sir. Zero, sir. Zero.
It is 0. Good. Because for the lossless line, it should be 0. The name is lossless, no loss. Okay, alpha is the loss attenuation constant. Okay, and beta. What will be beta if R is equal to 0 and G is equal to 0?
Omega into root LC.
Put R is equal to 0 and G is equal to 0. Leakage resistance both are 0. Bridge resistance and shunt leakage. So beta will be equal to omega into, in this equation, omega into root LC. What will be velocity of propagation for such an ideal line, perfect line, when R is equal to 0, G is equal to 0, for lossless line? What will be velocity of propagation? So velocity of propagation is equal to omega upon beta. Beta is omega root LC. So 1 upon root LC meter per second. 1 upon root LC meter per second. So for the open wire line, what is R, L, G and C? For the open wire line, LC is here. In ISRO, they ask question, what is R, L, G and C for coaxial line, for open wire line, for shielded line, for twisted wire line. Okay. So be careful and you should know these things. So basically velocity is equal to 1 upon root LC. So L and C if you have, then velocity will be 1 upon root of this. And for a non-magnetic material, what will be mu r? All are silent. For a non-magnetic material, mu will be equal to mu r mu naught, which will be equal to mu naught, because mu r will be equal to 1. Okay, good. So this numerical you have to solve, but you can solve yourself, no problem. And next we will discuss distortionless line and waveform distortion. So next class we will discuss on Tuesday. In the next class, waveform distortion and distortionless transmission line. Recording I didn't start and you didn't remind me also. We should have recorded this class.
Sir, this is from which book, sir?
Book I will share, no problem. This is from which book? This is from Networks, Lines and Fields from John D. Ryder.
Okay, sir.
Any other question you can ask me?
Sir, in the formula, velocity equal to omega by beta. Beta is propagation constant, sir.
Beta is the phase constant. Gamma is the propagation constant. Beta is phase
proportional.
constant.
Yes,
Beta is responsible for the phase. Alpha is responsible for the attenuation.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other question? Sai Varun, you can ask any question.